que de faire? Ninja strength, ho!
Fix my list. What? Go move?
Go moo! We took lists.
We have some pretty interesting lists online now.
We did. We did stuff. We did things. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. And we just arbitrarily went live, which makes me happy because I like to have absolutely zero schedule. Is it good for viewers? Is it good for continuation? Absolutely not. Is it good for
it is not.
the way I like to live my life? Yes.
Whatever. Brad does what he wants.
True story. I'm a grown ass man. I do what I want. Click. How do you submit your list? You can use this QR code thing, which I think is powered by sorcery.
It is pretty magical. Eloise designed those.
What?
The QR codes.
Sorcery. It is definitely sorcery. There's nothing else I can say. It's 100% sorcery.
And we even fixed this PowerPoint presentation, so now it's properly scaled to Brad's OBS.
Yay!
I'm so proud of you. You and Eloise doing magic.
It was mostly me.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
You ready for the first list?
I'm always ready.
Are you ready? You want to stretch out? Don't pull a hammy.
Okay, let's do this.
It's important. Go blam! Why Gaston was the real hero of the story.
So, why was he the real hero of the story, Brad?
He basically was trying to rescue someone that had Stockholm syndrome. He was helping the town. He had tons of friends. He was a hunter. Gaston was a real G. Not like that.
That doesn't mean he's the hero at all.
He was 100% the hero. He was trying to defeat the evil of the
Beauty and
Beast.
the Beast is the first book where the woman chooses the bear.
Yeah.
Someone,
Did you hear that, Brad? Beauty and the Beast is the first movie where the woman chooses the bear.
I mean, that's such a dumb situation anyways. Every time you choose the bear eats you. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Don't get eaten by a bear, everyone. It's not good. The bear is just hungry. As well as the Beast, who is such a shitty person that he got everyone around him cursed.
Yeah. He learned his lesson. Only took a couple 100 years.
He didn't learn anything. Lame.
All right.
The Blaze is a mutant. Purge it. Exactly. Y'all drink chocolate shakes and play 40K around here? I kind of want a chocolate shake now. So.
I don't want a chocolate shake.
You're a communist.
Yeah, probably.
So let's talk about the things and the stuff and the reasons and the mojo. So Eloise says, I really like the play style of the Rocky Top list. I need to tweak it for GW Train. I dropped one Castigator for the Triumph. I can drop another Castigator. I'm just worried about anti-tank if I do that. Retribution not having rerolls is a concern. So let's talk about that. I do think that double Cassies is a must for me. I just like the volume. It's a big
It
deal.
will not resize until you stop typing.
Yeah.
So double Cassie stays. I'm not really sold on the buddy cop duo of
People in technology.
So the reason why we put those into our list was because Rocky Top had player place terrain. And with player place terrain, there's lots of situations where there's the subjectives out in the middle of nowhere. And when you deep strike them, they do have a small footprint, and they're pretty cheap. They're only 70 points.
I don't hate them. I mean, they have a cool story too.
I have no idea what their names are, and I have no idea what the story is.
Interracial
Stern and
couple.
Kagano.
Cool.
I mean, they.
I like Eloise's name for him.
So the I'm back and forth. If we need points, they're getting kicked. I do like the Triumph quite a bit because she has a lot of utility. She makes the Arco Flagellants a million times better. She can get sixes, you know what I mean? It just depends what you choose in the command phase, of course, for. But just having an aura of lethals, especially when we're talking about GW Train, I think she has limited value on player place because you won't have as many places to set her up. But in
Correct.
GW Train, you almost always have a piece that you can run behind. If you're talking GW4, GW1, which are two of the most commons that played on it, even GW3, she can just post up behind that piece of terrain that's right in front of the middle and give lethal hits to effectively two different objectives. So I think she's a big deal on that. So I like Catherine quite a bit. Plus, it's a cool model that literally has a million things happening in it. So
Eloise is actually painting it up right now. We
it's
worked on our
boss
base last
mode.
night. She magnetized everything and converted it, so she's eager to get on the table. So the one observation I have is that there's nowhere for Junith to go if you take the Triumph.
Yeah, because she's got an immolator, so you're gonna split that Battle Sister squad.
Yeah, but you want them both on the table, and now that Immolator's empty.
No, you put the half the squad in the immolator, and the other half goes to Juno.
So then where's the Triumph go?
Triumph doesn't go to anybody.
You just have it standing out by
Triumph can't go with anybody.
Yes, it can. It could join Battle Sisters.
Triumph's not going with anybody. Triumph is an 18 wound model that's just walking around in the back. If you want to indirect her, go ahead. She's got a 4-up invuln. Feel free. She's not going with anybody. Her model is a posse by itself. There's 100 people on that model. Shit is
looking
happening.
at it right now. There are 5 bodies, a bunch of cherubs.
Yeah, there's
a casket full of
happening. For sure happening on that. What I'd like to see is another set of Seraphim. Seraphim are just amazing.
So originally the list had 3 Seraphim, but we exchanged one for the Buddy Cop duo. I'm not against the 3 squads of Seraphim, especially.
I would much rather have 3 squads of Seraphim than the Buddy Cop duo. Because one, we got Celestine still in here, and I'm not 100% on Saint Celestine without some juice. I mean, she could just go with the 5 girls, or she can run YOLO solo. Celestine is very, very good. I don't know if she's 100%.
So how Eloise has been running Celestine is Celestine's by herself. And because it's a character unit, you pull one of the bodyguard, one of the
and then you give her a 4-up hit pin.
Yeah, she has a 2-up, 4-up, and she just becomes extremely tanky.
4-up, 4-up.
2-up, 4-up, 4-up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Celestine's very nice. I just don't know. When you're looking for the question becomes, what were the detriments to the list? What were the things you were having trouble with? Those are the things that we're trying to fix. Fixing into things, we not just trying to optimize the list arbitrarily, but let's talk about fixing it into things that you thought you didn't have enough of. Did you have enough trash? Did you have enough damage? Did you have enough ability to play the game? Where did you feel that you need help with the list?
Well, let's ask her, Eloise. What did you feel like your list was lacking while you were playing the game?
Nothing. But I know that I cannot have the same anti-tank and shooting galleries on GW terrain, so I know that I need to drop some of the castigators. I just don't know what to replace it for anti-tank with.
I think we always stay with 2 castigators. I think that's the min for me, because you can set up nice firing lanes on anything. You just have to be firing on flanks. What you have to do is make sure that you're not pushing the castigators up too far. That is I see people making that mistake all the time. They get greedy and they push the castigators up too far, and the castigators get touched and or shot. Castigator has a super long range gun.
So I haven't looked at the Triumph's profile, but the lethal hits are just in close combat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And well, yes. And the thing is that the question becomes, so we're basically putting melty guns in the immolator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not I mean, everybody can throw stones at me because the sisters community likes the immolator a ton. I've just never been completely sold on the immolator because it's just a semi-high price for everything else that's in the army. So I'm back and forth about that.
And that's why we only have the one. I've seen some couple sisters lists that have multiple immolators, multiple battle sister squads, and I don't know what the point is. Like 2 units of 5 battle sisters is plenty. There's so many other threats that you have to deal with in this army where I just don't see the use or purpose of having multiple girls with just bolters.
Kyle wants to see if his CSN list made it up there.
You know,
Yeah.
he was invited to take part.
I
He
also
said
want
no.
to exactly. He was like, I don't want to talk to you chumps. I was like, Kyle, we're talking about multiple chaos lists today. Would you like to take part? And he was like, screw you, Brad. I hate you. It's like, all right, I guess. So I definitely want the triple seraphim. As far as the other,
My thing is, oh, sorry, stuck. So my thing is, I want anti-tank because if I drop the castigator, then I don't have anti-tanks anymore. But the retributors don't have the reroll.
So what Eloise said, I don't know if you guys were able to hear that.
we're just not taking out the castigator, so it doesn't matter.
Historically, the Sisters of Battle list had a lot of retributors of multi-meltas, so we have a lot of them. And she's debating if it's worthwhile including a unit or two a GW train.
Mm,
But if you do, you have to lose one of these wonderful characters because I think it's 105 points for 5 girls with multi-meltas.
I mean, I don't hate that, but who do you want to take out? You know what I
Probably
mean?
Saint Celestine would be my guess, but that's just
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like Celestine gets the kick at that point in time.
Yeah.
So Kyle actually won a big tournament. Can't blame him. Well, I've been scrubbing out in the finals, so that's how I roll apparently. I find a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. You got a big lead, Brad? I can blow it.
Overall, I think it's a very solid list. I know we've been tweaking it and we've been making it work. I think it plays very well GW format. I think the lethal hits will definitely help with dealing with some anti-tank issues.
100%.
It definitely makes the Arcoflagellants hit even harder, along with just all the close combat that's in here between Mormon Bell and the Triumph. Because the Triumph does have like 18 Power Sword swings. It's insane.
She's
The
got all
Triumph get in combat, something terrible happened.
I would totally throw her in combat. She
I
lights
am,
stuff
I
up.
am actually looking at your Necron list today.
All right. So I think we'll play around with the Buddy Cop duo. Let's get some games actually on GW Train and see if it has enough anti-tank. And if not, we can figure out a way to get more multi-meltas in there. One of the concerns I have moving forward with the Codex coming out is that Crusaders might not be a thing anymore.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky
I
Bobby.
will take it right now. There's zero chance Crusaders and Death Cult Assassins are the new Codex. Just plan for it now.
Don't you put that evil on me. Man,
It's not going to happen.
you got
They're not
nothing
gonna
but
be in there.
neg. Settle down, negative Nancy.
I mean, I called all of the Tau stuff.
Well, eventually
Yeah,
it's gonna
thanks,
make
Mike.
a
Crusaders
thing.
dead. No, I don't think they're dead. I just think they're dead in the Sisters book. I think they'll be a part of the new Inquisition entry because they have Crusaders in those Inquisition squads. I just don't think you're going to be able to take 2 Crusaders for 35 points. I think they're dead.
You got to put that on. Let's be positive.
No, this is the realistic. Come July, August, whenever the Sister book comes out, those Crusaders are going to have to become something else.
I mean, they are resin.
They're gonna
Yeah.
become awesome, is what I'm saying. That is true. Eloise would
Yeah.
win more games if her opponents didn't make shit up. True story.
Good point, Kyle. Good point.
If my list has a squad of 10 Brad Chesters, will that be enough to win my first game? It'll have to be enough to win all of your games, my friend.
Well, I don't know, Brad. Are you able to see above the terrain?
Don't need to. That's why I'm so stealthy.
Do you have arms long enough to be able to hold that gun?
We don't hold guns. Brad Chesters don't hold guns. Brad Chesters hold melee weapons. Called shot, junk.
Yeah.
Always. I think this list is almost where it needs to be. Put it on the table a little bit more. Let's talk about Robot Court.
Perfect. Let's do it. Now, are these the Doomstalkers that have mortal wounds?
They are not. So they're just regular Doomstalkers. So we've got a Chrono, a Plasmancer, 3 Technos. One's going to infiltrate with Dimensional Sanctum. Xeris, 10 Immortals, 5 Immortals, 5 Death Marks, 1 Destroyer, the 30-point guy. 2 units of 3 Meltabikes, because I hate saying their name because I screw it up every time. 3 units of 6 Wraiths, and 2 Doomstalkers in a tree.
So what is Ceres doing in this list? Is he just like buffing the Immortals?
He's buffing a lot
Giving
of
mortal
mortal
wounds
shit.
to the Doomstalkers.
Giving mortal wounds to the Doomstalkers.
Okay.
You have those stats right, Brennan. It doesn't work. It only works in a kill team, played in Space Hall, played in a skirmish game. So that's the only time you can
KR,
get that combo.
it's a long story that we're not going to acknowledge. I'm just going to poke fun at people, though.
I want another Doomstalker in this list. Hardcore. Doomstalkers are just
let me
too
stop
good.
my phone.
They are wildly good.
Do you need the melta bikes? I feel like the regular bikes in the book are plenty good.
The multi-bikes are free. They're basically trying to put out more damage. A lot of people have been going to them just to pick up stuff. They don't have shoot and scoot on that, but they've got pretty much the same stat on it. You could save a little points with it. The thing that I want is I would like a third Doomstalker. I really like it, especially if you're talking about GW terrain, because you go 2 up, 1 down, or flip it. But because wherever you put the 1, you can put it kind of in the open, because again, you have the strat to make him load up, so you can get some really good lines of fire. Because I usually try to take the 2 Doomstalkers and I barely peek out somewhere where I'm not going to get shots back, and then you can take the 1 Doomstalker and you can kind of just put him out like, what are you going to do about this? And throw it down. And I like that a lot. And the thing is that is one of the things that's doing the main. I think I had 3. Hold on 1 second, because I didn't see 3. Doomstalker. Nope. Just Doomstalker. If you have 3, I would love 3. But in the list it's just 2. Just 2.
So how are you getting those points to get that Doomstalker?
Well, I got to make sure that's not already in there. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Now I got to put points together. 4N, 3N, 2N, 1. I have. He didn't submit it. Yeah, okay. So we don't need to add a third Doomstalker. It's already there. So just change it to say 3 Doomstalkers.
so with that change, is there anything that you would actually change then? Are you happy with the way this list is?
I'm very happy with the list. I would like a little bit more. I've never been super sold on the Immortals, just because they bounce a little bit. Like they need character support. So he's putting a Chrono in one and the Plasmaster in the other. And the Plasmaster does decent damage. The Chrono makes you like be able to shoot and scoot. Ceres is decent. So my thing is I actually really like Deathmarks quite a bit. So I like those in the list because Strength 5 AP 2 damage is legit to pick up characters because they all have precision, and they just can excuse me, they can shoot for free when somebody comes in within 18 of them, which is legit also. I like this list quite a bit. I'm just debating on whether some of the second Immortals could be just more Deathmarks or flayed ones or things to play the mission a little bit. Because I'd like to have a 4 deployer in here besides the Wraiths, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to screen with the Wraiths. I just want the Wraiths to be in a perfect position with Dimensional Sanctum. So I wouldn't mind just having a little bit more play in this list. And it's not like a ton on it. And the thing is that Xeris is good. I haven't been completely sold on Xeris for what he is. He does have a good shooting. He is difficult to kill. He does give you the minus AP and the extra AP on the Immortals. I just don't know if I care enough about him. You know what I mean? Because for instance, at Adepticon, we went back and forth on Xeris quite a bit for the team tournament at Adepticon this year, and we eventually didn't put him in and just put in a shit ton of trash. We put in a bunch of flayed ones, Deathmark, Scarabs, and stuff like that.
So how many points is Ceres?
I have to look. Hold on. He has it all points up in the thingy boppy with the stuff. Xeris is 175. So, I mean, you can get like literally a boatload of trash for him, is the only thing. You know what I mean? Is Xeris good? 100%. If you want him, take him. But if you could, I would definitely consider, and this is the thing that always, in your list all the time, be willing to at least try stuff. Like every time especially over the weekend, we were talking about multiple changes to all of our lists. And the thing is that at least give everything a chance. Don't be just, you know, super held up that you won't try a switch. Not saying that you have to do this switch, but just I like to try everything and see how I feel about it. Because, like, especially with me, I tend, and I say that with me taking orcs right now where I have 1 billion characters, but typically I don't have a ton of characters in my list because I would like more shit. So it's a big deal on that.
So it sounds like the big thing is you're taking out a little bit of the killability just to get more playability. And
100%. But that's
between the new actions, between the new player rules that are coming out sometime this summer,
well,
I think that's a good play.
Yeah,
you need stuff to do actions.
and I think that you're gonna need to just do more stuff. From what we've seen, and the thing is that is also my play style, so it's always tempered by how I play.
Yeah, and there's also with like Bully Boys and Orcs, like I feel like Bully Boys and Orcs could just pick up rates like no tomorrow. So
and
you
the
need
thing
more
is,
screening units.
And the thing is, he could do if he wants to keep Xeris. He goes, I could just take out the small immortals and hero for a Hexmark and another Locust and 1 Scarab. I would love that change, to be honest with you. It just gives you 1 billion, just so much more play. When you're talking about playing against some of the new lists, you need to have just the ability to stall things. You know, especially when we saw 355 Bully Boys games played over the weekend, last weekend, and it wasn't even a super busy weekend. And it literally, that army is all about stalling them out for the double wog and just scoring as many points as possible. So yes, I would 100% rather just have more shit. So exactly, he's already talking about taking the Hexmark, the Locust, and thing. But I think that those are the keys. You take out the small immortal and the character for more stuff, and then just consider Xeris. Before you take it to a tournament, I would just put it on TTS, put it on your home board, whatever. But consider Xeris for a bunch of shit. If you don't like it, put him back in. I mean, he's never going to be bad. You know what I mean? He has good stats, good abilities, and he puts out a decent amount of damage. You know what I mean? It's just, would more trash be better in the list? And again, I'm always skewed on, I want maximum amounts of trash, so it's tougher for me on that, because I always want just more trash.
Yeah, that's why I quoted you.
Exactly. It's 2011. It goes back way farther.
So it seems like a pretty strong list too.
Sinks first showed me this in '99, by the way.
Oh, well, I don't think you were talking about trash units back in 1999. All right.
10 moves don't kill anything. It's back and forth, brother. Because mainly when I'm shooting something with immortals, I want to pick up nonsense. So it really depends on what you're trying to do with them. Because 1 AP is there. When I shoot with the immortals, I'm picking up the other person's trash. You know what I mean? And hopefully I'm getting multiple activations with them when I do it. Because I want to hit and I want to pick up some nonsense. And hopefully I'm picking up nonsense one more time. Exactly. Clear chat, push ass.
I'm quoting that. Hold on.
So many good quotes, apparently. God damn it. They're talking. Killing things on the mid objective is going to come from throwing down with triple Doomstalker, throwing a grenade, and going in, to be honest with you. So I don't think just the Immortals on it. So it's a big deal. So, I'm going to the next list so I can get past all the quotes. I do have a good quote in my bathroom. Brett went to the Toledo Art Museum and they were doing painting. And they did 2 paintings in that day. And at the bottom, they were supposed to quote a famous person. And she called me up and asked for a quote and from a famous person. And I go, "Bitches be trippin', Brad Chester." And that is in my bathroom hanging up right now.
I need a photograph of this.
I shall send it to you.
We're going to make this into a screenshot for one of your presentations. All right, so we're at the Renegade Raiders now.
Renegade Raiders. We've got a Lord, Stork, Cultist, 5x5 Legionnaires with 2 heavies and a Reaper Chain Cannon in all the squads, 4 Rhinos, 2 Forge Fiends, 3x5 Hazgood Las Cannons, and
Wait,
3
you can get 3 special weapons in a 5-man Chaos Space Marine squad?
Legionnaires have like a lot of mojo right now.
What the shit? I get crappy ass grenade launchers and Space Marines, and you get 3 heavy weapons?
Look, man,
Lame.
just accept the fact
Lame.
that you are so 2000 and late.
Lame.
I mean, Chaos is going to beat the bejesus out of your Marine list, by the way.
You get infinitely more melted guns than Space Marines do.
I mean, yes. Forge Fiends don't impress me much. I'd like more. Warp Talons are the truth. I actually think Havocs with Las Cannons are legit, to be honest with you. I like them quite a bit on this. I'd like just more trash in 4 deployers. You can just take Nurglings here, you know what I mean? Unless we're talking like a team or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I would want a couple units of Nurglings. Nurglings are super annoying, dude. You know what I mean? They're crazy time. So
We'll go over the detachment rules, Brad, so people understand why this is annoying.
yeah, but you're supposed to have all the attachment
but,
rules up.
You know, I'm typing your changes.
I'll pull up the thing because I don't have access to them. I only have to do them from memory. So one of the things about Renegade Raiders is amazing is they have cool strats. They have hero strats. They have I can bounce out of combat strat. They have I don't have them right in front of me, but they can get the why am I blanking right now?
Okay.
Just pull them. You have them in front of you.
So the detachment rule is ranged weapons gain the assault ability.
Yeah, everything's got the assault.
And then each time a Space Marine model in your army takes an attack that's on range of an objective marker, you get +1 AP.
Yeah. And the thing about that is there's the reason they're good at their abilities are good, but some of their strats are just bananavilles because they've got a reactive strat where if you move north towards them, you can make a 6-inch move. You can make a 12-inch move if you're mounted.
Yeah.
So to which is something.
So do you think some bikes are worthwhile here?
Yes. If you're going to play Raiders, I actually think I want some bikes in here because making a 12-inch reactive move can just change the game. Exactly.
That's more flexibility than White
New
Scars,
Judge
man.
TO shirt players be tripping, and they are. Most of your judge calls are always someone like, "Hey, my opponent said that I couldn't move 6 inches, and I can." All right, cool, thanks. Disco Lord, I don't know if he's mounted. I thought Disco Lord was a monster. And
I think it's a vehicle.
Oh yeah, he's always been a vehicle. But he might be. But they have to look that one up. I do not have that unlocked, so I can't even look.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Disco Alert is mounted. Tell you the truth, I'm taking a Disco Alert then, because I want to be able to abuse the shit out of that strat. It's insane. I mean, again, when you're talking about things that are just really crazy, you talk about Mist for GK when they can make that 6-inch move or pop back into, and it's the strongest strat that they have in their book. And then you go, hey, how about I have that, but also if you're mounted 12 inches? Yes, I do want I want at least one 10-man warp down.
So some of these I'm just looking at the strats now. So you have Armor of Contempt, you have Precision when fighting stuff. That seems pretty good.
You already have
the
it.
Opportunistic Raiders, which is what you're talking about, which is the reactive move.
It's so big.
You can auto advance 6.
And you can also leave combat.
When you get out of a transport, you can get full reroll to hit and wound.
It's just like for anybody, it's just like the Dark Eldar one.
And then you get +1 to charge. So that
that's one strat. That's the combo. It's not another strat. So you get +1 to charge in addition to that. So true, Disco Lord is more than the Wing Prince, but I am looking for mobility because you got to figure that mobility is the king in this game right now. There's so many times you can play around things if you're fast enough. If you have the ability to, because with reactive moves, same thing we were talking about when we play against Bully Boys. We play against some of these tough armies that used to put just, stars and shit. Move blocking them, wrapping them, moving away from them. You can just deny people activations and put them in dumb places. You move away from the objective and all of a sudden your opponent can't do that charge anymore. It's so big. So them having the ability to do that is just gigantic. I mean, that is a Bananasville strat. You know what I mean? And they still have. I mean, I'm pretty sure every time anybody shoots at anybody with armor contempt, they're already mad about it, and they just have that as one of their many really good strats. It's a big deal on that. Disco Lord does have lands. That's true. I just think that you're going to want to put some sort of bikes in. Exactly.
Yeah.
As you added there.
Well, bikes also bikes went down in points too. There's 75 points now.
Yep.
And you get 2 special weapons. You can take a 3-man squad. They are decent in combat, and you need stuff to do secondary actions like cleanse and scanning the corners.
It's big on that. I think you add. I think that every chaos list just starts with 3 units of Nurglings. That's just my opinion. You can put them. They still give that aura of -1 to infantry and basically not big shit. And I think that's a huge deal. And it also just can screen, and they're cheap as shit. You know what I mean, for screening. So it's amazing. Bikes take advantage of the modded redeploy, or it's not modded redeploy, but it's also redeploy plus you can take advantage of the strat. So
which is the 12-inch move. That's
right. Disco Lord mounted, same exact thing. That is true. I was debating on CP on this list a lot. No, we're not combining one.
You don't want to combine in one?
Nope. I just want more Warp Talons. So delete combine. Warp Talons are Bananasville, and you need at least one 10-man unit in your army because they can bail out. Obviously, you can use the strat, but like KR was pointing out, you're going to be using a lot of CP. So I don't want to have to use the CP to leave combat. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing other things. So I'd rather have at least one big unit so that I can make sure that I take care of the trash before I bounce. And that's a big deal.
I just don't know how you're fitting all this in now.
I'm literally soccer tossing the Forge Fiends.
Yeah. Well, how many points are the Forge Fiends?
I'm not 100%, to be honest with you. Again, I don't have the access to it. I can tell you from things that Kyle sent me when I'm using the points on it, and I know what the points are from things that are in his list, but he has no Forge Fiends. So
Forge Fiends are apparently 190 each. So you definitely could take Nurgling's bikes and
yes,
find more Warp
I can just make.
Yeah.
The thing is when I'm looking at a detachment, I always want to look at what are the ways I can maximize this detachment's abilities. You know what I mean? We're moving around, everything in all the guns are assault. You have, you have great strats. You can smash on. It's a big deal. So we can get just a lot more shit in here. So that's my thoughts on that. I mean, we could put something. The Demon Prince is a madman. By the way, he's something to think about. That dude's 180 points of kicking the shit out of people. He's. That's just a consideration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would
Disco Lord.
Yeah.
I said Discord Lord. We actually
might just throw at Abby at a unit of Chosen and Land Raider. Chosen are legit too, man. Like they did not get bad. You know what I mean? And they've got a decent thing. I would like to see like possibly a second cultist, to be perfectly honest with you. Master of Executions is always good. That dude still just bangs for his points. I like the Legionnaires a lot with all this, but I would like a couple units of bikers for sure. And I'd like to beef out the Warp Talents. I want at least 10-5-5. So 5-5, I just had too many 5s.
10-5-5.
I mean, I'll say exactly what Dave said. The Codex is stacked. There's so many things you can put in. But if we're playing Raiders, I want to maximize my ability to abuse the strats, abuse the actual detachment rules itself. I like 3x5 Havocs and Last Cannons. They're just fucking good. You know what I mean? For the points, they're amazing.
Maybe I'll play my Legion of the Damned as this because
exactly.
I own all this.
Yeah, if someone's not monitoring me 100%, I fix lists. I end up with. I think that 2,200 points is a very modest point total when I start talking about stuff.
But I think the big thing is that there's so much playability and flexibility with the new list that there's lots of valid choices, right?
Oh, 100%.
And it just comes down to play testing and like fine tuning, which the codex has been out for just a couple days now, which Brad hasn't had the opportunity to really dig deep into it yet.
I just don't have accesses yet. I have to go get it. You know what I mean? So I can start putting it on my app because I just need points. So I'm looking at a hazy, release of it on the computer.
So what are the heavy weapons that you think you'll take on the Legionnaires?
Good question, to be honest with you. I want the chain cannon for sure. I mean, it just shows up there. You know what I mean? So it's a big deal on that. So I don't know.
And do the sergeants have weapons too? I don't know how the squad's built now, so.
But like when you're taking your legionnaires, you've got the you're gonna get a last cannon, a melter gun, and the champion can get a random thing. That one I'd have to look up again.
Probably power weapon and plasma pistol.
I'm literally trying to look through my phone for the book as we talk. So, but like in the Havoc unit, the champion, I think it's a flamer or a melta. I mean, it's just do better. I mean, the book's legit. The talent, you'd be surprised, KR, the Legionnaires can actually punch their way out of a paper bag. I want a third Doomstalker for sure. I thought we already had a third Doomstalker. I apologize.
Yeah. So let's go back to that slide, Brad, so I can fix it. If there's only 2 Doomstalkers, then we definitely need to add another Doomstalker.
That's
when that doesn't
he
do
put
it.
up the changes already, and that's what he's putting in. They're in
All right.
Discord right now.
Well, let's go back because I'm typing them in, so when people look at the slide again, they can see the changes.
Sure, but I mean that's the change. Yeah, I mean we at that point in time we literally kill all the rest of the stuff so people can actually read it.
There you go.
Yeah. So pink, but with the Raiders, I want. Yeah, exactly. Everyone else let a codex looking at current release with such jealousy. I mean, this Chaos book so far, I haven't had a chance to super deep dive it.
I just want to know how all these units went down at points, and then they got all these buffs. That's insane to me.
They're bonkersville.
And then, like, you look at Tau, where it's pretty neutral, like, compared to the index to the actual codex release, but everything went up in points.
Mike, 100% on that, and that might be something we put in. That is a good point. Mike's like, a Rhino full of rubrics, disembarking, advancing, rerolling all wounds with +1 AP as they clear out objectives. It feels so spicy. I don't disagree. That might be something that goes in here. I mean, I would consider that higher than Prince and Disco, to be honest with you, because that thing, we have got 4 Rhinos already, and we could use a unit of rubrics just running around setting fire to shit, because everybody gains the chaos keyword, the new chaos keyword, basically, if they become one of these detachments.
Oh, they're 2 heavy melee weapons.
And 2 of the Reaper.
And then a Reaper. Okay.
Yeah.
2 heavy. All right, let's change that.
Yeah, I'll say. And then the Reaper. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal, and the Legionnaires can smack. I mean, they're legit. So you've got lots of options to just punch and shoot. I think this is a very well-rounded list, especially adding this stuff. The only thing that, like I said, optimizing this list is I want to lean into the Raiders' strats and abilities, which is
including bikes, including Nurglings, playing around Thousand Suns potentially,
and that maybe that Disco Lord. He's again mounted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't fit all this stuff in, so you have to pick and choose.
Yes. Well, you kind of can, because you just got 380 points to put in. So we're doing most of these things easily.
Yeah, you're just not getting everything.
Correct. But that's the thing is that you want to look at what are you more comfortable with? You know what I mean? Which character? Not all of the characters. Which character? You know what I mean? So it's a big deal on that. So
right.
It's legit. Ching. We're going to keep on a chaos. This is from the Playmaker. We're going to take Soul Man, the Soul Detachment. And we're going to Playmaker Special. 2x size cultists, 3 forge fiends, the Hellbrute, the Mauler fiends, 2x5 raptors, 2 venom crawlers, and 3 units of 5 talons.
So now, which detachment is this?
Soul detachment.
Is it actually called the Soul Detachment?
It's soul whatever detachment. I just know it's soul.
Is this the Vehicle Detachment?
Yeah.
The Iron Warriors Detachment? All right.
It is the soul pack detachment. Vashtor is a cool looking model, so I kind of do want him in here, to be honest with you.
Soul Forged War Pack. Just a little different than how you said.
Said Soul Man.
And
That's, yeah.
not even close. So each time a demon vehicle for your army makes a Dark Pact, it can invoke its contract. If it does, it gets -1 to resulting leadership test until the end of the phase. It gets +1 to wound rolls for its range attacks and +2 attack characteristics for melee weapons. Seems pretty good.
It's legit. This is a legit thing. It's just whether or not, if you want to play this style, I actually don't know if it's going to be greater than just embracing all the amazing infantry. Because even when you're taking this demon engine army, you're including some of the best stuff, the warp talents and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to go, I think 3 venom crawlers is the call. If you're going to take this list, venom crawlers are just legit for the points. They got 12 shots and 6 melee attacks. And if they kill something, they add +1 to the characteristic of that. And it's pretty legit. So Mike on that, there is a chance for a warpsmith in here. Hellbrutes are Hellbrutes. They're okay. I'd love to see my Mauler fiends actually make the table, so I definitely don't want to take them out because I haven't seen them in a list in forever.
So is the Disco Lord a good choice now because he doesn't benefit from the detachment? He's not a vehicle. He's just mounted. He's a bike.
I might boot him and just put in the Smith, and then we'd have some points left over for other shit. You know what I mean? Because I think that you want to really boost this up. You know what I mean? You want a volume shot and have your demon engines really crushing out. You know what I mean? So I think it is very important at that point in time because you need to have a good combo because you want that extra 2 attacks. You want the extra, +1 when you're shooting. You want to, again, we want to lean into whatever our detachment does the best. And if you find, and this is a big thing, and I've done this a lot when I've been making lists, well, especially when we first started making Marine lists. If you find yourself making a certain detachment and then it ends up looking like another detachment, just switch to that detachment. You know what I mean? If you're going to lean into a detachment, lean into that detachment and make it the best version of that. Get the most value out of that. We could do a discount for Vash.
Reroll hits aura. That seems pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, we could do disco for Vash for sure, because disco doesn't fit in here. Yeah, I mean, you can take the Warpsmith. It's not Techsmith, it's Warpsmith. But you could take the Warpsmith, or you could take Vashtor. I mean, Vashtor is also like a really cool looking model. So, give me some cost in a Vashtor, everyone. So,
I mean, these enhancements seem pretty good. Are there any like cheap characters that
disco for Vash, cut Hellbrute, add Venom? I agree on that. So kill the Hellbrute, add another Venom, and Vashtor literally. Yeah, I mean we could almost swap, thing for that. Add Vashtor, kill the Disco Lord for sure. I mean that sounds fantastic. And then Venom Crawler for the Hellbrute is way better, to be honest with you. More volume, more hand-to-hand, and the price on the Venoms is just so delicious. I mean, it's so good. You can't go wrong on that. So I'd start with that, to be honest with you. Vashtor is actually good now. I mean, he was god-awful when he first came out.
Which was like 340 points of pointlessness.
Well, he was just bad. He was like a bad demon prince. So it was a big thing on that. And he has the aura of what is it, +1 strength? I'm thinking off the top of my head. Oh. There it is. The 6-inch aura +1 strength. Ah, see? But it's limited to all demon weapons. But that's all the things you have anyways. Anti-vehicle dev wounds. I mean, he's legit now. Yeah, I mean he's for real legit, and he looks good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He looks badass. So I would start with these changes right now. Yeah, I mean, and go with that. Warp Talons are just hard not to take because they're the best trash killers in the game right now. Just debating if I want another vehicle or another character, to be honest with you. I want at least the 2x Ken Cultists. Forge Fiends fit right in. You know, the Mauler Fiends fit in nicely. Triple Venom Crawlers. It just depends on whether I want to swap out the Raptors or not, and I'm not 100% sure that I do.
Yeah, I give this a shot. I mean, I think Vashtor adds a lot of playability, way more than the Disco Lord does.
Oh, 100%. He actually
Just based off all of his special
well,
abilities.
he's got abilities that affect everything in the army, you know?
Yeah.
All the demon engines, so it's a big deal. And it fits in thematically, which makes me happy. Uh-oh. Thanks for looking at my list. And roll tide. You're welcome. I'm always I like thematic stuff. I really do. I really enjoy when I'm looking at a list that not only plays the game but feels like you know what I mean, the lore of the detachment. And speaking of that, if you are interested in lore, 40k lore cats or 40k lore cats, either one, come like and subscribe to the channel. Exactly, KR. 40k Lorecast.
Can we just make KR a mod?
He should.
Like
yes.
KR should be the mod, along with Eloise.
What? No.
I love her. No. I'll hear from the other room. No.
And no.
All of the things, some of the stuff.
So 40k Lorecast, where can you submit your list, Brad?
We got to go back to the.
Or you can just go to the very end after we talk about the Dread Mob Mojo.
Oh, we are going to talk about Dreadmar Mojo. I'm getting links because, as I explained to you a while back, you have to go up to the welcome to get people into your Discord.
I'm so proud of you.
Hey man, I'm basically a genius. I know how to make these things work.
Mm-hmm.
Where can people find you at Still Frosty?
StillFrostyGaming.com, or you can go Still Frosty Gaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And actually, there's been a lot of people jumping on my channel, so I'm really happy about that.
Very nice. People looking to figure out how they do stuff and things.
And stuff.
So, let's talk about Dread Mob Mojo. And I'm going to read the list off, and then I'm going to tell you what I love. Also, I prefer if you have anything, if you leave me a description, it does help quite a bit. Because I won't change things that you're focused on, and I don't have to guess. You know what I mean? So, the mech with shock attack gun goes in the Ludus, giving them the keyword for the detachment. Boys screen, and the Gorkonauts can transport either Ludus or boys. Shoots well, and the beast in combat. Flash kits go in the truck. I do love me some flash kits. If only pour one out for Dirty Badrock.
Pour one out right now, Brad.
I did into my face. So,
I'm sad there's no actual dreadnoughts in here or killicans.
So the Gorkonauts are too expensive for my taste, of course, because they're 280, but they do transport via models. And you can rapid ingress them and have a pretty big payload come out all crazy. The Dread Mob does make me happy because pushing the button is fantastic. You know what I mean? It's boss mode. It makes me wildly happy. So like, let me give you stats on a Gorkonaut. So you got the feel of Gork and or Mork. Gorkonaut is T12, 20 wounds, moves 8. That's my biggest problem with the Gorkonaut, is it's slow as balls. Ludus with a mech's legit. As long as you're pushing the button, it's real. You're basically getting one of the Deathstorm Mega Shooter is 20 shots, rapid fire 10 at 18, so 30 shots, strength 6, AP 1 damage. You've got a couple rocket launchers and a twin shooter, and then the melee is pretty legit because he's got a sweep and a strike. His strike is strength 18, AP 3, flat 6 damage, so 5 attacks, or his sweep strength 8, AP 1, 2 damage. Always a big deal when your sweep attacks have 2 damage. It makes a huge difference because you're clearing out bodies as opposed to just tapping on wounds. And that's 15. You know what I mean? It can go over anything 4 inches or less in height. If they're normal move advance, fall back. And they add 1 to hit in the WOG. And it also has 12 orc infantry capacity.
So how this attachment works is any mech, orc walker, or grot vehicle unit, when selected to shoot, roll a d6, and that's what ability you get, and then you get hazardous on top of it. So
No, well, you get hazardous if you choose.
yeah, if you choose. So
You only get. I would say that's a big thing because you only get hazardous if you choose.
but aren't you always wanting to choose though?
Sometimes you don't care.
Looters with sustained hit seems pretty good.
It depends what, because you've got the AP +2 if you roll crit hits. You've got lethal and you've got sustained. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of yes. Sometimes you're gonna want to choose, but a lot of times you're just happy with shooting your unit and then adding something to it. That's a big deal on it. Excuse me. Because sometimes you're just okay with shooting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where you're just like, I'm okay with whatever comes up. Sometimes you're just shooting Eludas into a squad and you're like, am I okay with any of these things being there? Yep. Do I want to take hazardous? Not really. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose any models. I take the chance. So you just go, cool, I push the button and I roll on with my life.
So do Luda still have the random shots like they did in years past?
Luda's got like significantly nerfed. So a Luda's gun is unfortunately hits on a 6.
Ew.
Yeah. The def gun is 2 shots, rapid fire 1, 48 inches heavy.
Ew. That's gross.
Yeah, that's why I haven't taken it because of the 6. But you can get some volume. I'm still not 100% sold on him, but Mark had some really good play over the weekend with him, popping the strats. You know what I mean? Rocking out some rerolls and just basically going for sustain and / lethals. You know, so you can do some real shit with them in this list. So I do like that. It is nice to have a couple units of boys just to attack stuff and do things. Gorkanauts, they're transporting bros. You can never go wrong with Gretchen. 3 units of Gretchen right now is my go-to, to be honest with you, because you can screen with 2 of them and you can keep one on your home field, and it's really nice to try to get those CP. Because in this list, you're also going to want to pop strats like it's your job. I mean, really, you're gonna be trying to get huge amounts of it. I think you might be the Mexican man, $2 super chat. Zadrog Wartsnaga, the Kung Fu master, Black Beauty, backflipping ninja, green assassin, is an auto included in Dread Mob. I actually really like him, and I would like to see him in this list because one of the things you want people to be is the hell away from you, and doing that is a big deal.
So how do we get him in there? Because isn't he like 80
He's
points?
80 points exactly. So it's one of the things that you want to rock out. So because
So how do we fit him in this list?
I mean, I'm always staring those Gorkanauts right in the face, so it's something to consider. The mechs with the shock attack guns are legit. You know what I mean? I mean, they also have some like legit strats. You know what I mean? So when you're thinking about the shooting of this, you have to remember you got a lot of things that, like for instance, bigger shells, bigger gets. Till the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, the target monster or vehicle, add 1 to the wound roll. If you chose to push it, add 1 to the damage characteristic of that attack. And until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by the models in the unit have hazardous. But like +1 to wound, +1 damage is Bananaville when you're shooting something that might also have lethal hits. You know what I mean? And or sustain. Yes, I definitely want the reroll enhancement, Aaron, on that. I want the reroll enhancement. I like Zog. I think
you're gonna have to drop a Gorkanaut, man.
I know, but like the thing is he kind of like was down with the Gorkanauts.
But you still have 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's more than I would take on that because the gore costs 280.
Yeah.
Kiara, I've got a good Speed Freak list. Anna's been playing Speed Freaks and has been really loving it. And we made a list for her that I really like.
Let's hear it.
Oh, we'll go to it next time. Yeah, I mean, effectively, we just took a unit of Truck Boys, 2 units of bikes, and a Def Killer, and 1 Max, 1 Min, and then 2 of basically every buggy. Because she wanted to make sure that she had every buggy on the board, and then a couple units of Gretchen.
So
It's legit.
If you drop a Gorkanaut, add Zagrod, get the reroll enhancement, you probably still have another 100 points or so. Probably 150. So what do you think you would add?
Probably a Depth Dread, to be honest with you. It gives us a little more hand to hand that we lost with the Gorkanaut, and it's something that gives you battle shocks and a 2-up save.
Okay.
I mean, a Depth Dread has legit mojo on it. Yeah, I mean, so because a Depth Dread, I figure to see the cost of it, but like a Depth Dread's T9 2-up save, 8 wounds, but you're just getting a shit ton of Dreadclaw attacks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And those are nasty because it's plus you just add a couple Dreadclaws with it. Their strength 12 AP 3 damage. It's a big deal.
All right, Brad. Well, we're wrapping up, so we got 5 minutes left until 3 o'clock, and I know you like to maintain a strict schedule.
Strict mojo.
So I actually like all these lists. I think all these lists are pretty fun and they're very dramatic. So I'm gonna go to the next slide so we could talk about how people can submit additional list ideas.
Clink. Blink. Oh, hold on. While we're here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the DOJ channel, the 40K Lorecast, and Still Frosty Gaming. You guys forgot the Still Space Frosty.
No, that's not how it works. And if you scan that QR code, it takes you to the right spot. But yeah. So Brad loves reviewing these lists. The weirder the idea, the better. Those are his favorite lists to review.
I do, but you have to tell me what your list identity is. I can semi-guess one of them, but if you have things that you don't want taken out of your list, I do need to know that. And it's a big deal. Just give me a little note on it. Ivan, on that, how should I play versus World Eaters with Necrons with that list? You have to make the Necrons come out. Play the game. Don't try to just kill people. It's a big deal in that to not get hit first. You know what I mean? You have to play cagey, pull them out to where you want them to be, and let Triple Doomstalker pick up full units of shit, which they have a perfect damage characteristic for.
All right. Any last closing words and words of wisdom to usher us into the weekend?
Stay milky.
Are you streaming tonight, Brad, or are you good to go?
I don't know. It depends on how Brian's doing. He had to go to the hospital earlier this week.
Oh, no. I hope he's doing all right.
So, yeah, maybe. Moo Crew!
Moo Crew.
Deuces, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Queenswave.
And submit those lists so we can review them.